Cue the show, sound surrounding, the screen will glow. Grab your popcorn, settle in. Movie magic's about to begin. Techthusiasm, turn it up to...
Hello, folks. Hello and welcome. We are into December now. The holiday season is upon us. December 1st, 5 o'clock, Monday, Techthusiasm Live podcast. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Hopefully you saw the little intro thing again that was new from last week. I thought it was pretty cool. I like the intro music theme song thing. I haven't really still done anything more with the AI stuff than that. I have some funny ideas, but we'll see what transpires with that. But I hope everybody had a great week. It was a nice long weekend here, I would say. Nice long Thanksgiving weekend. Some things happened around all of the systems and the business and stuff like that. But we had outside of that, we had a really great long weekend. Spent Thanksgiving split between our families, as we often do. Half the day with my family, half the day with my wife's family. So that was nice. Just conversation, no major eventful things happening, which is great. Just a nice, smooth, easy, enjoyable Thanksgiving holiday. We went and did our usual Black Friday Christmas tree shopping, not shopping. We go and cut down our Christmas tree. So we went and did that. We go to the same place pretty much every year. So that was fun. Family activity, came back, hung out with some friends, and for the Friday evening, which was great. And then Saturday, I don't even know what happened early in the day Saturday. Feels like it was just kind of a blur. My daughter got back to some of her activities, recovering from a recent fall off of her horse. She was back on the horse this past weekend. I also did that, hung out with some other friends. Saturday, we watched the WWE Survivor Series. It forced me to subscribe to ESPN Unlimited, which I wasn't happy about. But I think I'm gonna be like a serial subscribe and then cancel, subscribe and cancel a couple times a year just for the WWE content. The streaming, I think WWE and wrestling, if you pay any attention to it, is like now the perfect embodiment of how far gone, wasteful, painful, and frustrating the era of content streaming has become. When a company has an offering, they have their own platform, one-stop shop, $10 a month. You pay once, you get access to everything in one easy place, and then they sync that service because whatever, I don't know if it was not profitable enough or there was more money to be made in the licensing than owning their own content. And now, if you want to watch WWE content, you have to buy like literally everything. There's stuff on Peacock, ESPN, Netflix, and everything is just spread around. It's a bit of a travesty. So I think I'll subscribe to ESPN Unlimited when I really, really want to watch a WWE show, but they're basically losing me a bit as a customer because I'm not going to stay subscribed to that year round anymore. And they make it so hard. These bundles is just ridiculous as well. It took us like 20 minutes Saturday night to try to figure out, okay, where do I actually subscribe to? I don't like everything's under Disney. You can't add. I was not successful in being able to add ESPN Limited when I log into Disney Plus. So I had to route from Disney Plus basically through to Hulu and then do like an add-on thing because I have like an old grandfathered $159 a year Disney Plus subscription that I don't want to let go for the more expensive new monthly cost. But then these other services, you can't get it. You have to bundle them in monthly, and it ends up coming out price-wise okay, but it's just a pain. So anyway, we subscribe to the show. All of that for 4 matches as well. 4 matches on a premium live event, WWE show. But at least, hey, John Cena's retiring. That was his second to last match, and so it was worth it to watch that, I guess. Yeah, Sunday we got hit by a snowstorm. Anybody else get the snowstorm? Actually, Terminator, he probably got it worse than we did. I think we had about 6-ish inches of snow, and by the time we shoveled, it was coming on Saturday night. We actually drove home in pretty rough conditions Saturday night. We stayed a little longer than we were planning to. The fun part of having a Tesla, I think by default the Tesla scheduled updates at 11:45. So it was getting into the 11 o'clock hour. It's like, oh man, we got to get home. We should get going. It's like, oh crap, the car is updating. So we ended up staying about 10 or a half hour longer than we intended to, waiting for the software update to fully install in in our Tesla. So kind of a goofy, very late Saturday night. So Sunday we shoveled. I was going to buy a lawnmower or a lawnmower. We bought the lawnmower finally this year. Bought an electric lawnmower because my kids were adamant they wanted to do the lawn cutting, the lawn upkeep and stuff like that. We pay a company to do it. So like, why do you pay them? You could pay us to do it. It's like, okay, if you want to make that money, I don't mind keeping that money in the household. So I bought a mower, the Ego battery driven mower. And it's like, all right, now that we have that, I got the batteries, we're going to get the snowblower because my lower back doesn't appreciate shoveling snow, especially big, wet, heavy, thick snow like we had this time. But of course, I didn't buy it in time, and we had the first snowfall, and we've already now shoveled it. So we did that, hung out, and then had a nice little dinner Sunday night, and set about doing decorating our Christmas tree. Um, be aware of your Christmas tree lights. We discovered a strand. We have some older strands now of Christmas tree lights, and apparently one of them had a short or something was shorting. It was like melting the plastic, and we didn't know. The lights actually burned. The lights went dark, and then as we were diagnosing it, it's like, holy cow, the strand, the plastic housings are all melted. It's like, all right, we need to throw this away. We don't need to be having a fire hazard or anything. So we bought some new Christmas lights. So we'll be doing that, I think, tonight, finishing up the tree ornaments and all of that stuff. Yeah, so that was the weekend. We didn't get any more snow. I thought we were supposed to get more snow Sunday. It never really fell. So we really cleaned once and it's fine, but it wasn't really that cold, still in the 30s. So it wasn't icy and all that, but looks like some other folks got it. Yeah, Terminator 10-inch. Yeah, West Side gets more than us on the East Side. So lake effect and all of that. Up north, I think, was a lot more as well. Julius got 6 inches of snow, snowing now. Predict another inch and a half. So wherever you're at, be safe. Mind your driving uh, and all of that. Always be careful. I'm glad we have winter tires on our or all season tires on our Tesla for this winter finally. Yeah, so that was that. We and then also Sunday got rid of the G2. So the top billing for discussion today is the living room project inches ever closer to reaching its kind of quote unquote completion point, because to be honest, are we ever really done? Is anything ever really done in this hobby? There's always going to be something, some next thing, some upgrade, some new model or whatever. But for the goals of the living room plan, we'll be able to be at a really great place. So I had dropped the price. I forget where I started it. Was it 2,500 maybe? I think I listed, which was probably too much, but I started it at 2,500 on Facebook Market for the 83 G2. And then I was kind of dropping it every few days by like $100. We got down under 2,000, and then I think I was at like 1,700. I was starting to get some bites, and I had a lot of people offering me $1,000. Like I had probably 3 different people I could have sold the TV to if I was good to take $1,000. And so I was getting close to just accepting that. If like, okay, that's the value. If that's the value, that's the value. Fine. I need to let this go because I want to move on to, and actually by the weekend I had already made the decision and already paid the money and placed the order for the new television. But I was still hoping to get at least a little bit more. So I dropped the price. I think on Friday I dropped it to 1,500, and at that price there was a lot more contacts coming in. And so one guy was legitimate, legitimate profile, a real person. So you got to really vet that stuff out, man. If you're using Facebook Marketplace, you better really check the profile of the people that you're interacting with, especially if it's something that they have to come to your home for, like the television. You know, we weren't meeting at the police station to pass over an 83-inch television, so I don't even have a good way to take it to somewhere to meet somebody to transfer hands or whatnot. So he was a nice person, legit dude. So that was all great. He came Sunday around 1 o'clock. I had just I reset the TV, did the factory reset settings, and then we pulled it down, took the brackets off for our mount. I really, really hope that I don't have to change any mounting elements for the TCL. that the existing mount, I hope we don't even have to move it. That like on the wall, we don't even have to move it. That we can get it positioned where it's supposed to go, centered and set up and all of that. We just put the brackets right on the back of the TCL, hang it, lock it in, and it's good to go. So that's the hope. But we took the TV down. The guy had gone to U-Haul and he actually bought a TV box. So this is interesting. If you are moving a television, um, I'm pretty sure he got it right at U-Haul. It was a large format TV box. It was big enough to fit the 83-inch screen. And it was basically like two pieces of a box that kind of slid together. They slid like inside each other. And they came with foam pieces. So you kind of put like on each corner of the TV, there was like a U-shaped foam on the vertical, and then a U-shaped foam on the side, and then we kind of slid it into one box, and then slid it into the other box, and then he had a strap that kind of strapped the box together. So inside the box, it was excuse me, the bottom of the TV was sitting on the foam. It was protected on the other sides, and he had a little U-Haul trailer. So it made it really easy to carry it out rather than carrying the screen itself, which there's really no handholds and stuff. I'm always nervous moving a TV around, like you're pushing, you're trying not to, but your fingers are on some bit of the screen element underneath and doing your best to hold on to it. They really need to put like handles or something on the back panel of those plastic insets or something, make it easy to grab. Um, so yeah, we got it outside. He got it strapped in, and away he went. I ended up taking 1,200 was the final deal. He was kind of is a little bit annoying, to be honest. Like he's I think he made an offer. He's like, could we do any better? Whatever. It's like, fine. Well, it was listed at 15. I'm like, I'll do 13 for you. He's like, okay, that's good. And then he's looking, and he comes back a little while later, and he's like, I really want it. I'm legit or whatever. He's like, but um, I thought I could get it in my truck, but I can't get it in my truck. I have to get a U-Haul. I'm stretching for this already. Can you please like knock off $50? So that'll pay for the U-Haul trailer rental for the day. Like seriously? Like, okay, fine. I'm willing to do that. Whatever. 1250. We'll meet we'll meet there. And then he messages me a little bit later, and it's like, hey, I'm at U-Haul, and like they have this box, and like, would you pay for the box? It's like, dude, okay, how much are you going to ask me to pay for? Like, you're the one buying the TV. You need to work on the elements of getting it to yourself. Like this isn't like a new product dealer supported delivery item, right? This is a private used sale. Like how much more are you going to ask me to take in this? But I ended up whatever. I'm like 1,200. I'll pay for your trailer. I'll pay for your box. Just come get it. Live up to what you're saying you're going to do, and come get this television out of my house today. And so I took 1,200. He paid the 1,200, and everything was good. He confirmed he got it home. It was working. He was really happy with it. Of course, it should have been working unless something broke on the way home, which wouldn't have been my responsibility. But so that all worked out okay. But the reason I was a little bit more willing to just say kind of, yeah, whatever, was again, by this time I had already secured the new TV. So I was looking at the pricing and stuff, debating my options. Again, I think I've talked about prior. I do represent all the major TV brands, what I would consider to be um, uh, all four of the TV brands, right? Samsung, Sony, LG, and TCL. I can access all of them as a dealer through my distribution channels and stuff. Um, and I wanted, and I really like the LG. I mean, best case scenario, I would really have preferred to just gone straight to a 97-inch G series, but that's a very expensive proposition at a very expensive proposition at 25 grand, and even the dealer pricing isn't as low as you might think it would be. But there's some other options and stuff that were presented to me. There's like a special demo programs and other things, but I can't get into those this year. I'll have an opportunity to maybe get involved a little bit more closely with LG and some special dealer programs potentially next year with the 2026 models and all that. And so as we've been talking here, I kind of didn't really want to wait. I didn't want to wait that long for the TV upgrade, especially these last couple weeks. I've got the bigger surround. I got these big speakers in there. It's like, wow, I really want to finish this. I want to experience a 98-inch television in here. We actually, we played some games. We've been playing, my son and I, we've been playing Hyrule Warriors. We play a little Mario Kart in there. Hyrule Warriors is a split screen, top half, lower half. So it would be nice from our seating distance to have a larger image. in the split screen co-op view. We watched what did we watch? We watched actually Elf. Yeah, we watched Elf and Christmas Vacation. We watched both of them in the living room. We didn't come down to the theater to watch either one of those. We still watched them on Kaleidoscape. I love having the player, the Kaleidoscape player in the living room as well as the theater. But just Christmas movies, we want to sit where the Christmas decorations are, turn on the fireplace, right? Watch the Christmas movie. Doesn't really need the theater. But again, I still want a bigger cinematic experience there. So looking at it and then looking at the pricing, right? So the TCL QM9K 98-inch is a $6,000 TV. It was pretty quickly discounted to 5,000, and then the Black Friday pricing had it down to 4. And so I'm like, if that extra $1,000 discount goes away, I'll be really bummed to not have been able to like save that money on it. And then who knows, it might go away for a while and it won't be back to that price potentially until like Super Bowl time, February or whatever. It's like, no, it makes, if I'm going to get it, if I'm really going to get it, I should get it now. And make sure that I pay this price. Try to be somewhat responsible and spend the least amount of money possible to get the same item. So I contacted my I contacted my contact, my distribution contact. I'm like, hey, what's going on with the 98 TCLs? I think that was actually on Monday. I ended up talking to him. He was going to come to the meetup as well, but he wasn't able actually to make it. The inside sales rep, unfortunately, and my other contact there as well. So because before he had told me it was about like 9 days or so, week and a half lead time to get one of those, and he's like, no, we got them in. We have four, I think, in like the one of the other Midwest distribution centers. He's like, so you could have it. You could have it real quick. I'm like, all right. And it's in stock. It's Black Friday week. The extra $1,000 discount is available, and of course, again, I am a dealer, so I'm paying dealer pricing. At least the dealer pricing goes down with the sale kind of markdown thing. So like, all right, it's four, $4,000 list price. Dealer pricing is good. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And if I reasonably sell the G2 above $1,000, I was assuming, hopefully at this point, banking on a hopeful that I would sell the G2 somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 was kind of my hope. And anything in that range, I'm happy with. That's why I didn't kind of sweat the guy too much of like, yeah, another $100 off. I think ultimately I have more means for this stuff than he did, and whatever. I can take $100 off and let him have a happy holiday with his awesome new to him super great OLED, and I can get what I want and everybody's happy. So it's fine. So I jumped on it. So Wednesday I confirmed the order, paid, I hit my credit card and the order's in. Oh, I was going to log in today. I haven't gotten a shipping notice yet. But what I was hoping was that by solidifying the order on Wednesday, it might have been able to get in transit over the weekend. Because again, it wasn't in the Michigan warehouse. It was in another Midwest warehouse. So it's got to get moved from that place to this place, and then we need to arrange for kind of the final delivery to the house, and then get it all set up and stuff. So I'm really hoping that it comes in later this week. I'd love to have it hooked up, installed, and running by this weekend. So that's my hope. That's my plan. I'm waiting patiently. I was going to actually log in to the distribution system and see, because the warehouse, I think they were actually showing 2 when I had checked it before I ordered. So they originally had 4, and then I think they had gone down to 2. I was going to check it and see if my order was reflected as having been not in the stock list anymore. There was 1 or 0 left, but so in any case, yeah, I hope it comes by this weekend. We'll get it hung up. I've contacted already my friend and collaborator, pseudo partner-ish, Mr. Dan DiCarlo at AudioVision. He's been on the channel a few times. He has the keys to my Control 4 system. He's my Control 4 integrator. So when we get the new set, I need him to add it to the Control 4 setup. There's actually a couple of other minor programming things I need him to do. So like, okay, this will be a great chance for Dan to come by. And then actually, like, I can't hang this TV by myself. It was hard. It was with my wife and my daughter, getting the 83-inch off the um, getting the 83-inch off the wall safely and managing it was tough. Like my wife struggled lifting that, and so it's like there's no way she's going to get the actually the question just popped up there. There's no way she's going to handle the 98 effectively. And televisions, again, they're really awkward to lift and move around and all that stuff. So I'm like, Dan, just can you just come by and like come by? You'll have a guy with you or one of your crew and plus me, and then we can hang it. We can get it on the system. I have read some things and seen some information that suggested that TCL does not have great Control 4 driver support. I really don't want to use an IR driver if I don't have to. I'd really like to use an IP driver, and I did find one for purchase, $125 for the license, and it's supposed to work for TCL Google TVs as of a couple of the recent generations. So I'm hoping really I don't have to pay for that. That when Dan comes, there actually is an IP driver for TCL already in the Control 4 system. If we have to, as an integrator from this like third party driver uh, offering page, I would pay. We could pay and try that IP driver, and hopefully it works really well. And then yeah, spend the weekend kind of getting everything configured and set up and rolling again. Back with the setup, and then from there, I don't know what else we're doing I think we're done, quote unquote done in the living room. We'll have the 98 TV. The Utopias are in. The subwoofers are in. The Anthem STR is running great. The NED M23s are continue to run great in bridge mode. We turned those movies up. I played some loud music and video games, and we ran them up a little bit loud as well at the showcase for just a little while, and never had any indication that anything is wrong with the bridging. So I don't think anything else. We got the Switch 2, got the Kaleidoscape player in there. I don't think anything else needs to be added to the system, just maybe some more optimization. So, but I'm excited. We'll talk more about this in a minute. Let me hit some of these comments that have been kind of coming in. Terminators, I spent a good chunk of my long weekend recalibrating my bass response, ended up with more output. I'm happy with it. I did post in the community. I appreciate Terminator. I need to leave a general comment on your video as well. I was kind of replying. I just saw that. Let me back up. He had come to the showcase a weekend ago. And we've been talking for a while, offline and stuff anyway. And so he was able to come to the showcase, and he made a video on his channel with this name on YouTube. You can find it. I linked it in the community page as well. Kind of like talking about the experience and feedback and all that. I appreciate the kind words and everything, of course. But I saw it last night after we were done with the decorating that we were doing. I was waiting for my son to get ready for bed, and so I was replying to some of the comments that people had left on the video. But I didn't kind of leave a general comment. But yeah, check that out. He's got it up on his channel, posted. It was just posted as of yesterday. Spliffy, 1200 for a G2. That size is a steal. What do you mean a steal? Steal for me? Did I get ripped off? Did I undercharge it? Yeah, steal for me or steal for him? Did I get too much? Should it have been less? It felt pretty comfortable to me. I mean, that's like a more than $5,000 TV. It is 3 generations old, but I think you can get an 83-inch C5 for like 1,800. And so, how many generations? It's like a riddle. How many generations of LG does it take before the C series is better than the older G model? Is it 3? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it more? So if you could buy a C5 for like 1,800 Black Friday pricing, they felt kind of close to me. So like, I don't know, maybe I could have gotten more if I would have held out, or I would have like made some offers and tried to deal a little bit more with a couple of the other people that mentioned. But again, you got to be careful with dealing with folks. I have found on Facebook Marketplace. I've had a lot of really good experiences, and then of course I had the experience where I pretty much could have got murdered, certainly robbed on my own front in my own front yard, possibly murdered. And I don't say that lightly. I like legitimately. This was a very very stupid situation that I put myself in, selling an iPad of all things. So like those would have been the worst case outcomes. The outcome that I did get is that I still got robbed because I got taken for counterfeit money by these hoodlums. But this guy was legit, and I could tell that he's a real person, legit dude, nice guy. We were interacting. He was asking questions and whatnot. The again asking for kind of like me to cover those extra costs was it felt a little goofy, but whatever. It worked out in the end. So, yeah, that's the downside with Facebook Market. Buyers will still negotiate in person even after agreeing. I haven't actually experienced that too much before, to be honest. Like most of the time with folks that I've sold stuff, I've set a price and or whatever, we've agreed on it and they pay it. The main thing for me nowadays is like I don't want your cash because I've I've already been burned for $500 of counterfeit money, and um, I don't want to do that again. So it's like no, Zelle. I prefer to use Zelle, PayPal, Venmo if we have to, but like Zelle is what I want. I want digital money. I don't want your cash. Um, Maddie's saying, "Cool of you to do it for 1,200." Like I said, I thought it was a fair deal, and like I said, I could eat the 100 to facilitate it. I wouldn't want to have lost the sale for $50 or $100. I'm happy to finish the deal. It's gone. It's a bummer to go without the television all week potentially. Hopefully again. So that's why I really hope the TV comes this week. We already went like 6 weeks without a television in that room. I don't want this to be a protracted absence again. It'd be nice to have it sooner than later. How many people does it take to hang a 98? I think that TV is like 100 pounds. Um, like it's hard to look. I don't know actually. What if I do this for a little while to go out to another page? I think does my I don't know if my camera goes black, um, and that breaks the whole quality of the stream. I'll be back in a minute. I'm just looking up this TCL QM9K. Yeah, 123 pounds. Yeah, I think I do go black. So, and I think the LG, I think the 83-inch G2 is like 70 pounds, 80 pounds. So it's it's whatever. It's like twice or 50% more. I think it's like 50% heavier. So my mount is a strong, it's a Snap brand, the Strong racks. So the same company that makes the racks that I have for the AV gear in the storage room makes like television mounts. And so we have the XL version, the heaviest, dutiest version of their rack. So I need to double check that and excuse me, but I'm pretty sure that we're okay. That rack will hold this TV. I'll validate it, of course, but I believe already that that rack will hold the TV, and because of the way we did the wall install, we're into like thick plywood on studs, and so it'll work. It'll be stable and hold it. But it's probably going to be like, I mean, certainly two people to lift it, right? One on each end, maybe even a third helping to support in the middle. Um, but if we can get it primed right in front of the rack, we just pull the rack out a little bit, the mount out a little bit, then you just lift it up and it just hangs on it like a picture. So Terminator saying, I think the C4 is as good as the G2. Yeah. So then that would be two years. So if that's the case, yeah, then legitimately that $1,200 is probably a pretty fair price on both sides. Like I didn't overcharge it, but I didn't necessarily undercharge either. Well, if you get murdered selling Apple gear, calling dibs on the Focals. Yeah, man, that I can't believe I put myself in that situation. I knew these dudes were shady. Again, check the profile. I didn't trust my gut for the profile and went ahead and had these people come, and yeah, I was standing there prepared to spring into action and fight for my life if certain things were going to go in a certain way. Not a good situation. Yeah, Julius, always make my cells at the police station. Yeah, I've I've done it. The public place that I've used the most is the library. The police station is a little tougher. At least my town's a little smaller, quieter. So like our local police station isn't always like active. It's actually kind of it's in the downtown area, but it's kind of like around to the side, and it's kind of like a parking lot. So it's actually not very it's not a very public place. So in the past, like if I'm selling a MacBook or something like that, I'll say meet me at the library. I'll be inside the library. There's all kinds of people around, and we'll sit down at one of the tables and talk and do it there. So, and I'll even go to the library that's not even in my town, but the next town over. Yeah, Maddie's saying, yeah, I watched a video guy sell an iPhone in NYC. They tried paying with fake bills. Yeah. So now that I'm really aware of this, I was really Pollyanna about the um, Facebook market experience because I had a really good string of selling all kinds of stuff and people were cool and I didn't have any troubles and everything was fine. But these guys were just crooks. They were little hoodlums. I hope karma sees fit to deal with them as it should. But some people are weird. The other thing that I find this cracks me up. I was talking with my friends about this over the weekend, and I'm curious, like if nobody comes to the door, and maybe I'm like an old man, right? Get off my lawn, but walk on my walk, but come to my door. Like if you're coming to meet me for something, get out of your car and come to my door. Ring my doorbell and I will answer the door and I will interact with you. I will come out on the porch and we will do business. You don't have to come into my house. But I'll step outside and we can talk on the porch. It's open, it's public, whatever. But like nobody comes to the door. People come over and they're like, they text you from the driveway. I'm here. Okay, get out of your car and ring my doorbell. And then we can talk. Like you want me, it's like this isn't like A&W or like whatever Sonic Burger or something where you pull up and roll your window down and I'm gonna like come outside and give you the thing. And it's like I don't know. To me, that's goofy. I guess I'm conservative and I'm getting old, but like it cracks me up how few people come to the door. I sold the Switch 1 on Facebook Market a week ago. Sold the same day I listed it, and the people came. They pull up. The same thing. It's like they're there. They're parked out there, parked at the street, texting me from their phone. I'm here. It's like okay, I'm waiting behind my door for you to get out of your car and come ring my doorbell, and they're not getting out. It's like oh my god. Okay, fine, whatever. I'll walk outside. I walk up to their car, and I didn't feel threatened, so I didn't feel threatened in this situation like the other one. But it was at least daytime, and I did this. This was a much smarter transaction. But it's like, okay, now what? Like, you want me to hand you? You're in a running car. The windows rolled down. You think I'm going to give you my item first, and then like you're just going to drive away? It's like, come on. um, it's like no. So I stood there, and it's like here it is, and I'm like 3 feet back from the window of the car because I'm not walking up right to your car window and standing there. Um, So, here it is, showing it to them, whatever. And it's like, all right, it's 150 bucks. That's what we said. And I was trying to get them to pay. They ended up like cash or nothing. It's like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. It's only 150 this time, not like 800. I'll take your cash. And it's like, all right, give me the cash. Like, I'm not handing you the Switch until you give me the money first, because like you're gonna drive away with my Switch. If I take your money, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna run in my house and close the door. Like I have no vested interest or possibility to steal your money, but you have every interest and possibility to steal my item. So, um, but it worked out fine. So she handed me or they got the money, and when I had the money, it's like okay, then I'll give you, I'll give you the thing. But then they actually didn't have the right bills, so it's like oh, they have 160. It was supposed to be 150. It's like how do you know that I have change? If you're going to do cash, you should bring the exact cash. Either that or it's like, I guess you're paying 160 for this thing. It's like, it's not even about the money, like the $10 or the $100. It's like just the principle of like interacting with people, I guess is what's bugging me. Okay. I'm going to get off the soapbox now and we'll talk more about the fun electronic stuff. So I had to go back in to find a 10 to get her change, get them their change for the 150, which I happen to have, but it's like, I don't really keep cash. So you're lucky. You're lucky I had the 10 bucks. Otherwise, I don't know if we would have had no deal or you would have been paying 160 because that's what you chose to bring. So that's another reason why just do Zelle. You can put in any dollar amount and everybody's happy. All right. So yeah. Also mounting. By the way, the 90. Yeah, I look at this. It takes a 600 by 500 VESA pattern. Most mounts oblong to the 800 by 400. Yeah. So I need to validate this. Actually, I need to do it pretty much probably tonight because if this TV comes and I don't do my due diligence and we can't actually hang it, that would be disappointing. If I need to get something else or order a different type of mount or a different bracket or something, I need to, um, yeah, need to get on that. So I'll end up looking at that this evening. But it's exciting. I'm really curious how this experience is going to go. There's a lot of people that have been posting comments that are very intrigued to get the perspective, opinion, whatever, about this TCL. So to me, I feel like I'm definitely willing to take the shot at it. The price is so right. I mean, this is a lot of television, quality television, ideally, mini LED and all that stuff uh, for that size, right? For the price that it is, let alone, of course, the price that we're paying right now with the sales and stuff that I am able to get. Um, it's phenomenal value um, compared to like the 97 OLED and stuff. But I really do feel like a couple years ago, maybe several years ago, I don't think TCL was in the tier in the conversation as much, or maybe not even at all, with Samsung, LG, and Sony. And I think it's a different landscape now. I think they're the one that is coming up to challenge, with quality, performance, and of course massive value, cost breaking value against some of the models that the other manufacturers have. So I'm eager to try it out. I've never had a TCL. I'm kind of glad that they're off the Roku thing, but it doesn't really matter. Once the TV set up, I'm not going to use the apps anyway. I'll be using my Apple TV as I would expect to. So we'll have Apple TV, Kaleidoscape, Switch, and the PC, so we'll be able to try out all those sources on it. But again, I do really feel that like amongst all the other brands, and if even against like Hisense and whoever else, I think TCL is standing apart. Um, the best to challenge. In the past, I would have put TVs in tiers again, like LG, Sony, Samsung in a tier, then like Vizio, TCL, Hisense, and at least in kind of a second tier, and then you had other manufacturers and kind of lower tiers than that. But I think TCL is trying to strike, not necessarily to the point where any of the other brands are falling out of the top tier, but I think TCL is carving out a space for themselves, at least in like a tier two plus, tier 2.5 behind the tier ones, if not trying to fully kind of take their place in the tier ones. So the way I look at it, again, it's not, it was actually a very minimal, relatively speaking, very minimal investment compared to some of the other equipment that I've got running around here for a very tangible increase in size. And I really want to see what it does. And I think ultimately there's going to be three outcomes. Either one of three things is going to happen. Either TV is going to be, it's going to suck. It's going to be not great. And especially in my viewing experience, I'll be immediately comparing it to my visual memory, like gaming and performance memory of the G2. And so maybe it doesn't stand up. Maybe it's a bit of a failure. It's a massive downgrade. Um, and so it's a down. So yeah, option one, it's a downgrade. And so if that's what it is, so be it. At least it's big. And I really don't. I think the risk of that is very low. Like maybe I will still consider the experience of the G2 to be better in some respects, but I can't fathom that like this TV is going to be a dismal failure. I think it's going to be pretty great. So I think the chances of that are very minimal. It's a possible outcome, but I think the chances of that are minimal. And then at the end of the day, whatever. Um, I'll probably only have this TV for a few months anyway. Again, I and a lot of the folks like making content that are making businesses out of our involvement in the hobbies and stuff like that. You know, I'm not buying these TVs as 5 and 10 year usage investments and stuff as I may have in the past. I definitely used prior TVs for that long. My original Vizio, the Sony X900 that I had, even this G2, I had it for 3 years. That was bought when we had the channel, but at that point, the channel was really not a business, in the same sense that it is today. It was kind of an experiment still at that point, building stuff up. So yeah, no matter what, I would probably be getting at this point forward. Actually, I would expect to upgrade my TV every year, just full stop. for the content, for the experience, for the knowledge, for the ability to share feedback and whatever, I'm probably going to end up being model current every year to begin with from this point. Maybe I'll move around, maybe I'll switch around. So if this isn't great, I'll be using something else in 6 months probably anyway, when the 2026 stuff is readily available, and maybe I'll have the opportunity to go all the way to a 97-inch G6 or whatever the whatever the equivalent model is at the time. So this could be a short-lived experiment to begin with. If it's not great, or if it's a downgrade, so be it. At least then we'll know, and I can talk about it. So that's outcome number one. I think outcome number two is like, it's not a downgrade, it's not really an upgrade, it's kind of a side grade. But hey, no matter what, it's bigger, so that will be nice and impactful regardless. So I would even call that a net plus, because again, I want to fill that cubby up, and I want to have a bigger image relative to our viewing distance, more cinematic experience to stand up to the audio system. Now the video chain will stand up to the audio chain um, as well. So I'm perfectly happy with that outcome. And again, it'd be better than it not performing great, or feeling it has some negatives or some lacking capabilities or whatever. Yeah, so that would be that. And then of course, who knows? Maybe it'll be really awesome. Maybe I'll really like it. Maybe maybe next year I'll be rethinking my need to to spend more money on an LG or an OLED. Um, maybe TCL, maybe their 2026 models will come on strong, and I'll be happy enough just to use this thing until the whatever QM 9 J or L JKL, the QN9L or whatever comes out. And but again, no matter what, my intention, I'm not really looking to be like a TV YouTuber, like a lot of the TV guys like Brian and FOMO and other channels like that, where like they do a lot. All they do is television content primarily, like 99% television content, 90% television content. I'm not looking to necessarily do that, but I can offer all these brands. I think I really need to be more versed on different models, different makes, manufacturers, and be able to always be current to the current spec models um, for the value and benefit of it. So no matter what, it's going to be good. And again, because of the insane value pricing um, of it, there's really little risk, really little downside to doing this. I need to steel myself for the fact that like selling TVs is tough, but I don't know, selling a 3-year-old model took a little while, and again, I had to bring the price down quite a bit more than I thought I might have to. But 1-year-old models, I don't know, but selling big TVs as well. It'll be interesting to see when this thing goes up, when this thing has to go up for sale on Facebook Market potentially next year, or likely next year. It'll be really interesting to see what kind of turnout and response quantity there is in both a 98 and then relative what the price drop is relative to it being a 1-year-old model at the time. Julie says, "Oh, Tesla is your Tesla? Yeah, Tesla's all-wheel drive. It's fine in the snow. It's fine now that we have all-weather tires." So, Amen Strawberry, new name, welcome. Howdy. Do you use controller exclusively? Yes, for playing. Yes, we have a Logitech I forget the model now, K400 or K800. It's like a mini keyboard with a trackpad on the right-hand side, single unit. So that is in the drawer of our coffee table in case we ever need to break it out to like install updates and manage the PC, stuff like that. But gaming wise, running like nominally speaking, right? We want to play a game, we turn on the PC, it boots to Steam Big Picture mode. We use the controller to navigate Big Picture mode, launch the game, get in the game, and then we use controllers to play. I never play with mouse and keyboard. Love it. Love it that way. Manny Danny, I think you'll like the size and brightness and color of the QM9K. Dark detail and black crushing may not be up to an OLED. Yeah, but it should look bright but it should look, I think that means bright in the living room. Yeah, again, like the size will add impact and value no matter what, for sure. Brightness will be interesting. I don't know what to see. I'm not sure. Like the G2 was like 1,000 nits, pretty stably, I think. And this, I don't even know I don't remember offhand what the spec of the TCL is, but I think it's pretty. It's a good bit higher than that. Yeah, the blacks. Motion is another thing that I'm kind of curious to notice as well. Kind of goes to some of the things that Terminator was talking about in his video, about the theater experience where we have the Mad VR, and I use Motion AI and I really like it. I know some people don't. It's fine. It's just it's a personal thing. How does your vision system work, and does it bother you or does it not bother you? I'm a fan. My wife's not a fan, but when I watch stuff on the television upstairs, motion anomalies. I see motion anomalies on the OLED that do bug me, or they break me out of the content momentarily that I don't experience down here. Um, and so that's probably one thing that I'll be looking for. Is there kind of a difference in in motion handling, panning shots, and things, stuttery, juddery type of stuff? I think next year TCL have two levels of RGB mini LED as well as a high-end QM10L mini LED. Yeah, we'll see. I think there's going to be some interesting models coming. Um, I feel like the last couple years of TVs haven't really broken something loose, um, in terms of like major technology waves. They've kind of been iterations, evolutionary versus kind of revolutionary, and I think that there could be some interesting things coming around the TV space in 2026. So it's going to be fun to pay attention to and see. I probably should get myself to CES some year. Um, Not currently planning to go at the moment, but pay attention. I'll be paying attention to the news, and of course I'll have the dealer info and stuff coming as well about what the models and all of that can do. So excited for that. And I need to get my Kaleidoscape back online. So I was going to mention this last week. I think right it was when we were at the end. I did also confirm a purchase. It's now been like a week and a half actually. Um, I am upgrading my Terra server, so I'm going from a 24 compact to a 48 full size 2U multi-drive Terra server. So that'll be awesome. 800 movies that'll hold about half my library. I was leaving a good amount of content off of my 24. 24 holds like 400 movies, and I was keeping probably about 325 pieces of content loaded. Nicely comfortable open space for new movies and cycling some things in and out, stuff like that. But like I didn't have the entire MCU downloaded to be able to just watch scenes and jump into stuff. I didn't have like all of Aliens and Predator, and so um, there were certain series that I had like a lot of stuff downloaded and readily available, but the exercise of doing the showcase and having all the content available for demo, making the collections and putting the scripts together and stuff like that. I think I will really like the feel of 800 movie server. So that's on its way. Feels like it's taking like I don't know why it feels like it's taking a little longer to get through. It's kind of like a special offer purchase that had come up. Um, and I don't know what it is. There's a little bit of extra delay in that coming on its way, but I've already sold my 24. That's already shipped, and I already shipped it and been received by the new owner over the holiday weekend. So my Kaleidoscape system is fundamentally right now it's down. It doesn't have to stay down without a server because thankfully I have the Strato E players now. So if I really want to, I can engage. I can basically reset the Strato E's to work in standalone mode, one in each room, and I could just download a movie and watch it and be done. But I've been content just to wait because I figured the 48 should be here really any time. So I'm like, I can just wait. I'll drop it in. We haven't really had much of an opportunity to watch a movie and stuff anyway, other than kind of just prior to the showcase or the in that weekend. Um, this Thanksgiving week was too busy. Late nights with friends and family all the week, all the days in a row, and then the decorating last night. My daughter's back to soccer practices and stuff, so likely don't really need it. But hopefully it'll be here. I'm hoping that arrives this week as well, and then get my system back into kind of a fully stable operational state because it's going to take multiple days to download and fill up. Probably a couple weeks worth of downloading, perhaps to fill up fill up that 800 and get 5 or 600 movies, probably at least a good 600 movies, 700 movies loaded on it, and then keep another 100 open cycle space remaining. And then once I get them all downloaded, I can rebuild my collections and rebuild some scripts and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. It'll be kind of like, uh, again, like the feel of having a lot of movies locally on a server, and then having all that stuff on the movie wall and all that will be fun. So looking forward to that. That was something that I was hoping to do at some point. I had kind of relegated myself that it probably wasn't going to happen this year, but again, there was an opportunity to do it. So it's like, all right, I'm in on this. This works for me. So we'll get that squared away. Um, and we'll get the TV squared away, and then we're pretty system stable until the next things start to happen from there. Seren, did you upgrade your internet speed? No, I still have cable, 1.2 gig service. So, 10 minutes a movie, give or take. That's 6 movies an hour. Right? My math. Yeah, 10 minutes, 60 minutes, 6 movies times 24 hours, 6 times 24, 100 to 125 movies a day. So yeah, it'll be about a week if I keep the queue primed, and then I don't have a data cap, but WoW will probably I might still get a nasty gram from WoW. Why did you download? Why did you download 40 terabytes of information this month? Hopefully they don't kick me off my plan, or there's no negative repercussions. But hey, I have no data cap. I'm paying for this tier of service, so I'm going to put it to work and put it to use this month. So yeah, excited for that. And we'll get this Hyrule Warriors game knocked out. Oh, Marvel Cosmic Alliance just launched today. So I'm really jonesing for the TV now in the living room, because my son and I, we've been looking forward to that game coming out. I thought it was going to be later December for a while, but it was apparently, I think it went live today. New Marvel Universe pixel style 2D side scroller beat 'em up. Um, Super excited to play that, but I can't play it without a TV. So yeah, hopefully it'll be here. It's going to be another boys' weekend as well. My daughter has a soccer tournament out of town, and we are not all going due to flight and travel logistics and stuff like that. So my wife is taking her. So they're going to be gone for the better part of the weekend, long weekend. So it's just going to be me and my son hanging out. So man, we're gonna movie marathon one way or another. So if this stuff doesn't come, if the Terra is not here and set up by the weekend, I will reset the Stratos, because I think we'll movie marathon Star Wars. That would be he hasn't watched all of Star Wars, which me saying that I have an almost 13-year-old son that hasn't watched the entire Star Wars saga is like, I don't know, anti-religious or something. But Star Wars has not always been what it was in my fandom personally, but I've watched the better part of them with my daughter. So um, I think over the course of the weekend we may knock out the Star Wars movies, original trilogy, and get a foothold in the prequel trilogy up to where I stopped watching them with my daughter, and then we'll continue from there, perhaps as a family. But want to be playing some video games. We need to beat Hyrule Warriors, and then get on to Marvel Cosmic Invasion or Cosmic Alliance, whatever it's called. So hopefully the TV's here and the server's here. If not, I'll have to figure out some workarounds. Maybe we move the Switch. Maybe we move the Switch down to the theater here. Oh, I did also in the last week and a half, I did install the Tableau. I think we didn't talk about that last week, but we had talked about that a couple of times in the recent live streams. But I did install the Tableau. I bought the 2-tuner, no antenna package, $99, $100. Um, and I did film it, so I have a bunch of footage filmed for the unboxing, installation, basically from box to operation of the Tableau tuner, and been using it. I've got some series recordings set up. We recorded the Thanksgiving Day parade on it, and was able to watch it like time delayed and skipping through the commercials. Um, I quite like it. I think it's pretty good. It So anyway, maybe we'll talk more about that next week, and I can even show some stuff off there's a way to screen share potentially. But there will be like a similar to what I did with this, what we did with the Switch, like a from box to living room. We'll have the Tableau from box to operation. I hope to finish that video, edit it, and publish it this week. Um, get that out. But I think I'm cruising within the week as well to actively canceling my YouTube TV subscription, and we'll just keep the over the air tuner going. Quality is good, reliability is good. There's a little bit of like delay and jankiness that it doesn't work as like seamlessly as like a streaming subscription. I like when you're watching something and like you can pull up a guide and the content still continues to play. Some of that stuff, it doesn't work like that with the Tableau. If you pull up the guide, it disengages the active playback of the channel that you were tuning. Um, so there's a little bit of like abruptness to kind of operating it, but it works. Quality looks good. The series recording options and stuff are all look good. Nice configurability. The channel scan was solid. I really have disabled pretty much everything it does except for like 6 channels. Again, all I really wanted it for was ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, maybe PBS. And like Tableau comes with a whole bunch of like streaming channel access in the guide, and I explored that stuff a little bit, but I've turned it all off. It not my thing. It's more linearly broadcast stuff on a streaming channel, and none of it was really appealing to me. So all I want is those local broadcast channels, and we're good to go. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I don't know if we'll do anything else this year. I think I still need to figure out the screen plan in here. Now, once the TV is set, the server's set, and those other things are set, then I'll come back to the concept of the screen resize, change out, upgrade in here. I do have a buyer pending, patiently waiting to see if I would be selling this screen if I make the screen change. So it's possible we could end up doing that before the holidays as well. And then I have one other still. I'm not primed to fully announce the kind of brand relationship yet, but it's probably pretty clear to a number of folks what I've been working on. But I passed a pretty significant certification exam, and I'm scheduled to do some additional advanced audio calibration training coming up here in the next couple of weeks. It won't interrupt the podcasts and stuff, so we'll keep the Mondays. But I will be making a little jaunt for 2 days of audio calibration learning and fun. That'll be awesome. Increase my own knowledge and skills, and be ready to kind of go be ready to go with an offering that's coming up, as well as a likely potential shift in my own setup and systems involving that thing, which could ripple into which could lightly ripple into a couple of other things. But it's been fun. I've been engaging with folks as well. So if I can help anybody out there with your needs, your upgrades, your plans, and stuff like that, do please reach out. I can probably put the scroll up just real quick here, but you can get a hold of me, the webpage, Techthusiasm. You can get a hold of me through YouTube, the webpage, the email, whatnot. It's been fun. I'm helping one gentleman a couple of states over to kind of get the finishing touches on his theater, which is awesome. We're working on kind of a final spec for his screen as well. And he needs a projector, seating, a couple final touches. So putting all that together for him. I had another gentleman I've been working with. We just spec'd his screen out. It's in order, in production queue order, and should be shipping to him this week. And then he'll have some next downstream upgrades. So it's shopping time. If anybody's looking for upgrades, there's a bunch of promos still available as well. JVC has a sale going on right now. 2 of the projector models, the 800 and the 700, both have some pretty nice discounts on them. Kaleidoscape still has some bundles, but of course everything changed over with the announcement of the mini Tera SSD model. So if folks are looking for that stuff, you want to add Kaleidoscape, upgrade Kaleidoscape, happy to do it. Um, SVS has Black Friday stuff going on right now. So there's sales. Oh yeah, yeah, Sren, good one there. So I don't offer this, of course, but Anthem has 15% off. If you're going to buy some Anthem stuff, I can put you in touch with folks to get it. Um, so you can still kind of come through me, and I'll make a direct introductory referral to be able to order. Or if you're getting it, please use my links. Go to Audio Advice or Crutchfield. Either one would be greatly appreciated if you're picking up the Anthem stuff. Of course, I'd love to be able to offer it. Just it hasn't been in the cards at least yet. So I didn't really do any much other Black Friday shopping. I was kind of looking around at some deals and stuff. Not really even on home theater stuff, but on other things. Of course, I guess the TV was a Black Friday purchase because again, I didn't want to let the Black Friday pricing drop, potentially disappear, and then end up paying more. So I guess that was my Black Friday kind of shopping deal. But my other interests and hobbies, I still didn't really pick anything up. If anybody had any interesting Black Friday shopping finds and purchases over the weekend, sound off in the comments quick. Let me know. I'm curious what people might have been shopping. I thought I might have ordered like some comic collection related stuff, some books and things, but I never really looked. My son and I were actually in the process of kind of designing out or scoping out a bit of a collection kind of reduction and refocusing redirection. After the last we went to the Motor City, the big Detroit Comic Con a couple weeks ago, and um, he's really interested in getting involved in like some action figure collecting and stuff like that. And given his age, it's like, oh man, this is like the last bastion of time where he's um if he's going to be interested in that stuff, it's going to be now. So we may be tweaking some of the my office display, hopefully, and some of our collection focus to some other things. So most of my online shopping was looking around at some of that kind of stuff, and we're working on this new plan that I need to pitch to my wife ultimately about what we kind of want to do with the display wall and some of the ripple effect of what it would mean and where we want to need to put some things and stuff like that. So yeah, having a lot of fun with him, kind of working on that. So we're at the hour. Anybody has any? I'll give it a minute here. If anybody has any last comments, questions, anything like that. Otherwise, we can call it a stream. Again, hopefully, my goal is get that Tableau video out. I might do a little bit of like take some of what I talked about here and put it into an edited video, particularly about like the TV choice um, coming up. But rest assured, once that television arrives, we'll be big into content and the Terra server as well. I'll probably make some content around that. Um, but primarily I think the TV, of course, is the most interesting thing. So the arrival, the delivery, the unboxing, the installation, initial setup, and then thoughts and feedback and all that stuff. But it's going to be really, really cool. Now I'm really glad actually um, that we did two things with this living room install. That we added the depth to the wall because this TCL is about 2 inches thick instead of the G being 1 inch thick. So we added an inch and a half of thickness of depth to the wall. So this TCL is going to sit in that cubby nice and clean. It's not going to be hanging out. It'll look really nice, I think. And then of course we did all the rewiring, um, and so I have enough cable slack and all of that to be able to get to the I/O panel of the TCL, which is looking at the screen. It's on the far right hand side of the display, not the left hand side of the display. Unfortunately, it will be interesting as well too. I need to look at the TCL I/O. I don't know if the TCL has multiple USB ports. Oh, excuse me, or does it only have one? So as I covered in the vlogs, I'm using this. Excuse me, I'm using the new RUI Pro cables that have the detachable ends. They require, and here it is, they require power on the display side. And there's right now I have 3 cables that require power, and it looks like, yeah, It looks like there's only 2 USB ports. So I will have to use the hub. I'm glad that we proved that the hub, at least with the LG, the hub worked to power multiple cables. We'll end up having to use the hub for those cables. We have 4 HDMI inputs, 4 source devices, and of course we have the optical. I really, really hope that none of these TV manufacturers drop the optical output. That would be a real challenge for my setup if that ever actually comes to pass. Infusion 5112, welcome. What model and size racks do you have in your basement? My racks are Strong racks. They're a Snap AV brand. One of the companies or brands in the Snap umbrella. Honestly, I don't even know the model that the make is Strong. The model, I don't know specifically. They're old, so those were bought and put in 12, 13 years ago. Still going strong. They work great. I have no interest or need to even consider replacing them or swapping them out for anything else. But the current models of Strong are slightly different. Like the offerings are slightly different now. Mine are 40. They're like 6-foot tall racks. So is that something like 42U or whatever? And I have a double. I have 2 racks that are kind of connected directly side by side, locked together, and then I have the side panel walls on them. I don't have the doors. So yeah, 40 some U per unit, 6-foot tall on the casters, Strong racks. If you're interested in that stuff, I am a Snap dealer as well. I can get the Strong racks. So if you're shopping racks and you wanted to spec something out, get some pricing or whatever, Infusion, the information is in the scroll. Feel free to drop me an email or visit the webpage or whatnot. Or you can actually go to Snap and look at the Strong racks. You can't see pricing without having a login, but I do like how they do that. Like the Snap webpage lets anybody kind of browse all of the products. So you can see the racks, the sizes, the offerings, the different models, the accessories, and all the different bits and pieces that they have. But I really like the system. Again, they've been awesome for over a decade. No problems. They've held up. They're sturdy, durable, reliable, and I like the very wide offering of shelf options and panel options and all that sort of stuff. So happy with those for sure. I think that's it. It was a fun hour, fun musing about all this stuff. Exciting setup for next time. So maybe next, uh, yeah, hopefully by the next live, I'll be able to actually talk about the initial experience, hopefully, of the TCL, and that'll be fun. So I hope everybody has a really great week. I hope everybody has an awesome start to their December. If you're celebrating, of course, this awesome end of year Christmas season kicking into full gear, New Year on its way. Looking forward. I'm definitely looking forward to kind of chilling out, winding down in the second half of the month. It's going to be a lot of R&R time for me coming up. Actually, some vacation time. We're ready to go for skiing as well, which is great. Ready to get out on the skis. Enjoy winter for what it is. So hope everybody has a great week. Feel free to, again, get in touch if you have needs, if you've got questions, guidance, advice, consulting, any of that sort of stuff. I have a lot to offer, I think, both in terms of knowledge, experience, and then, of course, access to a lot of stuff. Even if you don't see it on my brand listing, I can probably get it one way or another for you as well, including some really other top tier stuff. More to come on that. But yeah, stay tuned for the coming content. Keep an eye on the community page. I'll be putting pictures and postings up for sure. I do try to do that quite often. So just as a public service announcement, I keep the community page of the channel, or I strive to keep the community page of the channel pretty active. So always putting up teasers and all of that. I have been really trying as well as I've had content edited and ready to go, putting things up for members first. Thank you to the channel members. There's a few of them in the audience here right now, and much appreciated to those folks and anybody else that feels inclined to do that. Of course, please, oh man, please, if you're shopping, you're doing holiday shopping, Amazon, Target, Walmart, eBay, Monoprice, Audio Advice, Crutchfield, um, apparel stores. I got Dick's, Home Depot enabled now, Hannah Anderson, Macy's and stuff, Kohl's and so on. You, your spouse, significant other, family, whatever. If you can use those links, if you're not already using links for somebody in your shopping, man, please, please, it's such a huge boon. And I've got more stuff that I want to be doing, and so that revenue, it really helps. It really helps to enable stuff. I was actually pretty close. I was pretty close to delaying some of the things that I've been talking about here today. Um, so I appreciate your support. Your support makes it possible for me to do more and make the channel interesting and grow my own knowledge and experience and capabilities and whatnot. So it's a virtuous cycle, and I appreciate anybody that takes the time and effort and energy to support in any given way. Whether that's again buying equipment directly from me is certainly the best option. I really try to go out of my way, bend over backwards, give great service, attention, focus, and all of that to everybody that I interact with. Secondary to that, again, please use the links if you would. Much appreciated. So I'm going to go join the kiddo. The wife and daughter will be back from soccer soon. Hopefully she had a good experience and her head isn't bugging her. Get some dinner, do some decorating, have some family time and all of that. I hope you're enjoying an awesome evening as well. Thanks for watching. Stick around for a minute. Watch the little outro. It's the same as the intro, but I'm really digging the theme song. I need to do a little bit more with this. So thanks, Julius. Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, everybody. I will see you all soon. Come on back for more home theater discussion and fun. And if you watch the theme song video, I'm going to trademark this one. Techthusiasm, your home for the fun of home theater. I love the way that sounds as well. Awesome.
The lights, cue the show.